Hello everyone, welcome to part 6 of my updated summary and proposed strategy document. I'm going to read that in a moment. You can find that document hopefully by the end of today, the 24th of September, in the public document file. If not by the end of tomorrow, I will try and just add a couple of bits that I need to the document. But reading on page 13, it says on the 16th of January 2024, I'd sent an email to around 650 members of Parliament with my latest evidence. I received one response from all of those MPs, and that was very significantly from Harriet Harman. And that's because the evidence through Companies House shows that she was part of the National Council for Civil Liberties and that they were affiliated to the Paedophile Information Exchange. The Liberty Group companies were also linked significantly through to the World Trade Center disaster and the removal of company names from important documents and links to this international government fraud. This is very important. On the 4th of March 2024, an article was publicised by the Business Matters website warning banks to be on high alert and suggesting that the Companies House register had been completely hacked and that others had attached documents to the register. My evidence shows this is not the case. On the 8th of March 2024, articles emerged that former Home Secretary and Prime Minister Theresa May will step down as a politician despite the next general election, despite being an MP since 1997, 4 years before the World Trade Center disaster. This was not long after I'd publicised evidence in relation to the Police and Crime Commissioner's Office, the National Crime Agency and the Royal College of Policing being linked to this international government fraud, and where they had been actually implemented by Theresa May during her time as a Home Secretary or Prime Minister. I can't remember which one. I'd also publicised evidence regarding the involvement of Group 4 security and its links to the frauds and its effect on police cutbacks and the closing of police stations, which was one of the reasons I left the police in 2018. I'd also publicised suggestion of potential links to May's husband and Group 4 security, and links shown through Companies House records to the former Chief Constable of the Metropolitan Police, Lord Condon. On the 26th of April 2024, after I'd sent another email to almost 650 members of Parliament, again I received only one response, but it was very significant because that MP stated and showed correspondence between them and the Minister for Sexual Offences in times of conflict, which is obviously very, very relevant to all of this. And the email also significantly undermined David Cameron, the Home Secretary, and the supply of weapons to Israel. This is very important in all of this, and the Israel conflict is massively significant to all of this. We are in biblical times in relation to all of this. On the 8th of May 2024, AstraZeneca withdraws its vaccine stock. AstraZeneca UK Limited was incorporated with Swift Incorporations Limited and Jordans Limited, the very same two companies that started up Export Manor Freehold Limited, where this all started for me. Andrew Bridgen is an MP that was trying to highlight the threats and risks of the vaccines. I had a conversation with Andrew Bridgen months ago. He refused to assist me in exposing this, despite the very clear evidential links to this fraud, the vaccines, directed energy systems, child trafficking, and the potential depopulation around the world. Andrew Bridgen has companies on Companies House records that also link to Swift Incorporations Limited and Jordans Limited. The same was for Mark Sexton, a former police constable who I spoke to personally. He refused to assist me to collaborate and expose this system of fraud linking through to the vaccines, despite him being publicly trying to highlight the risks and threats and the danger caused by these vaccines since 2020. On the 18th of May 2024, I send my evidence to members of the World Economic Forum, the FBI, NATO and the World Health Organization. 3 days later, the chair of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, resigns. This is despite, he publicised his resignation. This is despite him being the chair since 1971. And evidence shows, as already stated, that King Charles was involved in the start of the World Economic Forum along with Vladimir Putin. And I'm now finding lots of evidence to this fraud linking back to 1971 when the World Economic Forum started. On the 8th of June 2024, I received contact from someone close to the group that many people have been directing me towards to and who are linked to the fraud, claiming to work closely with government officials and asking if I would accept Nigel Farage as the Prime Minister and Donald Trump as the President. I'd already found evidence linking them to the fraud, and I explained this, so I could not agree to it. They tried to convince me and warn me of the risks in continuing with what I was doing due to the connections to Mossad, the Israel intelligence agencies. I make reference that I had seen this particular person that was contacting me sat next to Gordon Bowden, who had been exposing the Companies House fraud linked to 788-790 Finchley Road, and they claim he had been poisoned. I later find evidence suggesting that this person contacting me is closely linked to the fraud, to Dorset Police and to JP Morgan Bank. On the 24th of June 2024, Julian Assange is released from custody. Companies House shows that WikiLeaks is linked to the fraud, and evidence also suggests that it is linked to the Hampstead child abuse inquiry, and that Assange may be linked to a doomsday cult. On the 5th of July 2024, I publicise and make a report to Dorset Police regarding the latest evidence linking the fraud significantly to the fluid taken from the poor children. The next day, a large fire at a waste and recycling plant in Portsmouth, the smoke of which blocks the motorway, is researched and shown through Companies House to link significantly to the fraud and to the fluid taken from the poor children, which I just publicised, suggesting that they were trying to destroy evidence in relation to it. On the 14th of July 2024, I start releasing the evidence. On the 12th of July 2024, I make a further report to Dorset Police regarding this fire in Portsmouth and publicise it. The very same day, my YouTube channel was completely removed. I have received no response from Dorset Police regarding my reports at all. On the 14th of July 2024, I start releasing my evidence linking Donald Trump to the fraud and through to the child trafficking, and in fact, linking through to Hillary Clinton eventually. An apparent assassination attempt is made against Donald Trump that very same day, or around that day. The evidence was being compiled a few days prior to me releasing that evidence. The very next day after that apparent assassination attempt, somebody sends me a video claiming that the assassination attempt has made Donald Trump into a newborn Christian and suggesting he can be trusted. After publicising this information, I start to receive messages from AI Elon, whatever you believe that may be, on Telegram, interested in my views in Donald Trump. On around the 14th of August 2024, the World Health Organization declared monkeypox an international emergency. The same day, Mpoxa Solutions Limited, a company on Companies House, discontinue its dissolution that it had applied for on the 31st of July 2024. In general, there are significant and telling changes to the Companies House records as I'm making my reports or making public exposure in relation to them, with companies dissolving, companies changing their names, and directors and secretaries resigning. This is despite that information having been in place for many years until that point. Here are just some of the many important changes in Companies House that took place. On the 8th of September 2022, King Charles resigns from a company called JV Energen LLP. This is a renewable energy company, and Prince William becomes a director. As I continue to expose the evidence of the fraud publicly, Prince William resigns from that company on the 29th of February 2025. This company, JV Energen LLP, links immediately to a company now trading as Generation Europe Foundation, and on the 22nd of March 2023, remember the dates are very significant, they removed the word Russia from that company name, changed the name, removed the word Russia, despite it having Russia in the name since 2002, not long after the World Trade Center disaster. Okay, we're going to move on to part 7.